Hello, and welcome to the Global Citizen Diaries, where we delve into the lives of those who have embarked on the adventure of moving to a new country. I'm your host, Om, and today we have a special guest joining us all the way from Slovakia, now pursuing the studies here in Germany. Let's dive into the fascinating journey and experiences of our guest, Luce. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, whether you're tuning in on Spotify for the audio version or catching us on YouTube for the video version. Your support means the world to us as we continue to share these insightful stories. Now, without further ado, let's get started. So, first of all, Luz, welcome. And could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what are you studying right now?
Okay, so my name is Luce. I'm from Slovakia. I have moved out of Slovakia 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago actually. I first moved into Netherlands. I tried studying history. I did not like that so much, so I decided to move to Germany, and now I'm studying computer science. I'm in my first bachelor year. I'm still not pretty sure whether I do like it or not, but I am trying my best to just go through with it and see if I actually even can pass.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, first, for the starters, how has been the German experience so far?
So, in comparison to my own country, Germany is much better, much progressive. It's a very positive state. In comparison to Netherlands, it's still lacking a little bit on some sides. But I do have to say, as a student, I feel like Germany is much better to me money-wise, and also with the experience and openness. I do have to say it is much more difficult to find a job here, because not all of the companies are English focused. A lot of people expect you to speak German immediately after you come here.
Okay, all right. So, speaking of the language, how good are your German skills?
I can understand stuff that is connected to my current job. I work as a receptionist in a hotel, but I do work in the night, so I don't per se meet people all the time.
Okay.
It's a great job. You don't really have people. You just take care of an empty place and hope that no one's gonna try and rob you. But I did spend a lot of time also working nights and working in different places, so I could say that I can understand some basic conversation. But if someone would expect me to tell something about myself, use my German in the interview, trying to talk about my experiences, I would not be yet able to do any of that.
Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your German speaking skills?
Okay, I'm gonna do this as a language teacher. My German is around A2 maximum.
A2. Oh, that's good. And what more languages do you speak besides German?
Well, it's a tricky question because I do speak technically Russian and Ukrainian. I do speak Russian and I do speak Slovak, which are the languages that I've learned. Slovak is my mother tongue. That allows me to also understand Ukrainian and Czech, but don't expect it as languages that I've learned. Czech is almost the same language as Slovak, and Ukrainian is like a combination of Slovak and Russian. And I speak English, and that's about it. Yes.
But you said that you recently, like this is the first time that you moved abroad in Europe. So I would love to ask you this question, that when you landed here in Germany, how was the cultural shock, like the transition from Slovakian culture to the German culture, and how did you, manage to get through all of this?
Okay, the simple way, I didn't. My first experience was very bad because I moved to the Germany from Netherlands around September of last year, I think. I'm not so sure. The time is very confusing, but I'm not meaning 2023, I mean 2022. And when I was moving, I was essentially also switching the same job, which was just some warehouse work. And were mentally preparing me for what the German people are. They're efficient, they want everything to be on time, you shouldn't be late, and they will be slightly blunt, but they will also not tell you a lot into the face in the terms of like actually what they think. So I tried to take all of this in the account, and it very quickly ended up with me being fired from that job.
Okay.
Yeah. If I would just see like the general difference, they do say that they're efficient. They absolutely not. They will take their sweet old time to do stuff. But I don't see that as a bad thing. But it was not what I was prepared for. I was expecting something,
true.
and I went straight into a German environment. Mainly, the worst issue that I had was that no one in the place where I was working spoke English to begin with. Yes, so there was not even a person that would explain to me this is how the German environment looks like. So it took me 2 more jobs to get used to it. It's a great thing to be able to prepare stuff, and then when you have a good preparation, you can realize it. But for me, I like to do change quickly, so I needed to get used to it. Like, yes, there is some steps that we need to take in order to actually get somewhere.
Oh, okay. So usually the stereotype is that the German people are rude. Do you consider like them as rude as well?
The thing is, I'm still Slavic, and there is no such thing as ruder people than Slavic grandmothers.
Very true.
Yeah, I just come home and everybody tells me I'm fat, so I'll be good here.
Okay, all right. What would you say is the one thing that you absolutely like about Germany compared to back home in Slovakia?
Openness.
Openness.
Yes, openness. The thing with Germany is, as far as I'm concerned, you can, for example, get married here as a same-sex relationship. Which is something that in Slovakia is not possible. And for me, that is a very big deal breaker because my parents, for example, are gay. I have 2 mothers. And this was a big issue when I was a child because that essentially meant because they can't get married or my other mother cannot adopt me. If something would happen to my biological mother, I would sooner go to the foster care than I had the opportunity to stay with my second parent. So it's something that for me is a big deal breaker regarding just the rights, because I don't see how it would in any possible way be more comfortable to go into some sort of foster situation or literally to just a children's home when they're already full and I do have a parent that could take care of me, but I cannot because the laws of Slovakia say so. So that is something that I really like about Germany. I do like it about most of the Europe, to be absolutely honest. But if I should go for something that is very Germany specific, I would probably go for the massive acceptance in being multicultural.
Can you just first state the city that you are in right now in Germany?
Oh, I'm in Essen. It's
Essen.
Very close to Cologne. I think we have around 1 million people. It's not a big city. It's not a pretty city. There is not much to see here. But it reminds me of home because where I live, there is a lot of very old, slightly communistic houses, and that is how the place where I grew up looked like. So it feels a bit like home.
Why did you choose like Germany? Since you went from Slovakia to Netherlands, then what made you choose the German culture and you came here for a shift?
Absolutely nothing. If you're thinking that I was like, oh, this is a cool country to live in, absolutely not. I have been playing games with a guy online and now we live together.
That's good. Interesting, by the way. But since we all know that Europe is quite a beautiful continent to go around and travel, what around Essen or in Germany or around the country of Germany have you traveled that has been, quite of a highlight reel for you?
Okay, as weird as it is, I know I've been here for a year and almost a half. I have not been quite out yet.
Oh, okay.
The issue is because my boyfriend is currently finishing his bachelor's degree, and I was first getting acclimatized, then I was trying to look for friends, then I got friends, then something happened in our previous workplace and all my friends suddenly of their own will just decided to move across the Europe themselves. So I suddenly, out of those friends, I suddenly had no friends. So I pretty much did not have anyone really to go travel with. So as far as Germany goes, I had been to the cities that are across to go to Slovakia by train. And that's just what I've seen from my train going home. I'm still planning on going. I definitely want to go see Dusseldorf because it sounds exactly like that sort of place I would like to see. I like anime, I like manga, and they have a massive Japan town in the city. But as far as I can tell you, I can talk about good restaurants around. I've seen some great sushi here.
Okay, so for all the viewers and listeners, if you are an anime or manga fan and if you're traveling to Essen, you know you got a friend there. Next question. What would you say is the food here in Germany that you would say, is a particular specialty that you like?
Nothing. Jesus Christ. German food, absolutely horrendous. You have schnitzel, you have wurst, neither of them are pretty much German. When you think about it, wurst is Bavarian, schnitzel is pretty much Austrian, and the rest of that is not really good. The best thing that German people do is make other countries' foods. I definitely want to say that. The most popular thing that we have here is obviously pizza, but the second one is right after kebab because we have massive Turkish minority here. And Arabic. In general, there is a lot of brown here, and it's amazing for our food because German people do not know how to use other things than salt and pepper. That's okay, which is great because Slovak people don't either. I add paprika. That's about it.
All right. So if any person was supposed to move from Slovakia to Germany, what would you give a little, kind of a fooding tips, like a foodie tips?
Bring your own food. Bring your own food. We have a few things Slovak people will know. We have at-home pizza, which is like the typical thing that we eat for breakfast. It's amazing. It's like a little porridge thing. And as much as you will try and look for something that is as good as pizza, you will not. Bring your own from home and be prepared. They do not have mortadella here.
Okay, so how about the Slovak, the food stuff that you just mentioned? Is it readily available in the supermarkets here in Germany?
No. A lot of things that I look for in the stores doesn't exist in Slovakia because there is an option to learn either English or German. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you have to consider that it is actually Austrian German. Yes, the moment that we learn about how to just say hi, you already see the difference because the way that we are used to in Slovakia say hi is Grüß Gott. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We are very heavily influenced by Austria, but it's understandable because a lot of people go and live to Austria. So, sickness. Jesus Christ, drugs here are not strong enough.
Okay.
Yeah, as weird as it sounds, I am talking about paracetamol and stuff like this. They are much weaker than in Slovakia. It might be something with the regulations or something, but just like be ready that if you are in pain, mainly girls on period, Jesus Christ, bring your own drugs or be ready to eat more drugs than you expected to.
Okay, so for a person who is moving to Germany, what would you say would be a monthly breakdown of finances about, like, let's say for the rent and insurance, how much should a person should keep in mind?
Okay, so it definitely varies, and it varies drastically depending on what you're looking for. If you're moving in alone, I can imagine that it's actually more expensive than to move in with another person because you don't need per se that much of more space for two people than you need for one person, but you are still splitting everything. So if you have the option to room with someone, it will definitely cost you less. But also, one thing I realized, we live in what could be considered a bad area of the city, which literally just means there's houses instead of bigger houses. If you think that it's in some way more dangerous than other places in Germany, it is not. German people are dangerous. They can be dangerous. Definitely for a woman, you should be prepared for people following you from time to time home, and they will be uncomfortable. But most of the time, they will back down if you do most simple stuff to protect yourself, like calling your friend or just like being very weird to them. That usually helps a lot. But that's why my rent is quite cheap. We together we are spending around 800 euros for everything, and by that I mean you stuff like foods, groceries, electricity. Very good thing that I would recommend everybody doing right now is the all Germany ticket.
The Deutschland ticket.
Absolutely amazing. It's cost for me for traveling, I think, almost 3 times, mainly because when they introduced it, I was still traveling from one province to another, so that was not fun. But yeah, definitely get that ticket. I'd say it can vary. I would say that like what you should be prepared is from around 1,000. That's like I would say around, that's like not the bottom line, it's like a round line. You can go much lower, you can also go quite higher, but 1,000.
So the average is 1,000 euros.
Yeah, for including month, I think, yeah. If you, and I'm considering even like fun stuff. I'm considering that this is food, this is insurance, which insurance, if you're working a full-time job here, you don't really even see your insurance because they will pay it for you. So for me, it's like, it's for free. I know that it's going from my salary, but my salary is good even after. And so it's definitely a good thing. And what I would definitely recommend for people is to look for jobs and to look for jobs that don't require you to do English. One of those jobs that a lot of people forget about is hotel work. I did not realize that hotels do take people as much, even if they don't speak per se a lot of German. And they will expect you to learn, of course, eventually. I'm constantly lying about learning, but they still trust me that one day it will happen.
What is the most funniest word that you have learned, or the word that you use on a regular German basis?
Okay, it's not the funniest word for how it sounds, but it is funniest the way I was taught this, which could be also one of the reasons why I got fired from the first job, because I've learned the word egal.
Egal? Oh,
egal.
Okay.
I learned it on the go. My boss was telling me, hey, we shouldn't be doing this like that, and I was like, yeah, I agree. And my coworker ran up to me and he was like, if you want to say that, say egal. And I was just like, yeah, egal. And then he just screamed at me for 15 minutes because egal, nicht egal. And I was just like,
all right. And what is the most used German slang by you that you use right now?
Genau.
Genau. That's
10
quite
out of 10,
useful.
genau. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, moving on to the most hot trending question. How exactly is the dating life here in Germany that you would say?
I came here because of my boyfriend and we are still together.
That's good. Congratulations.
Yes, the basics were completed. I think that, we still were dating, we still go on dates. I think that this place is great for the dates. If I would be the one to look for an actual new boyfriend, I don't know how I would feel like. I've been to the bar twice of my own will, and then I worked in a bar for a month. And out of that, I've seen like one person that I would genuinely consider. Going out is not gonna help you. Tinder is gonna be very annoying. I recommend you try to look for someone within the university because, well, they're gonna be international just like you are probably, or give up and move to Netherlands. Find yourself a cute Dutch guy, they all speak English.
Okay, this is interesting. So for all the viewers, there is one person out there for you, but you just need to find them. And now we'll just move on to the last section. Okay, we'll start with the rapid fire question with Luce. So number 1 question. Favorite German food so far?
Not German, sushi.
Okay.
They're really good at it.
Okay, moving on. What is the most surprising cultural difference in Germany?
Green light, red light. I'm Slavic, we do not respect cross lights. Here, you go to a red light, they will judge you. Every single person will look at you like your password will be taken away, your driving license will be taken away. How dare you? This is the end of the world. And then there's like those 5 that don't do it, and you just know that these people are either trying to be really bad boys or they're just not German.
Okay. Next, one thing you wish you'd known before moving to Germany.
Cancel your Christian taxes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
I was Christian when I was a child, which means I'm a part of the church. You have to pay here a special tax for it. Cancel it before you move. If you don't actually want to pay it, cancel it. If you do, I mean, that's your thing. But like,
moving on, favorite Slovakian food that you miss?
Kir pizza. And who knows, they know and they understand me. It's good.
Okay. Okay. One thing that you're surprised about Germany?
Buses here are one of the things that I did not realize can be so late, but mainly because there's constantly something renovated in the city. Oh, and bombs.
Okay.
And bombs. Jesus Christ, I did not expect that to be a thing. I don't know if that's also a case where you are, but in Essen, at least once in a year, when there is some sort of something that you're building, they will find old bombs from World War II, and they will close up off half the city because of them, to either remove them or detonate them in the spot.
Okay. And one essential German phrase that you would want our listeners or our viewers to know if they're coming to Germany, like must have.
Okay, it's not a must-have, but it's something for the girls, because this is the first sentence I've learned for my boyfriend. It's Ich brauche deine Aufmerksamkeit, which is I need your attention.
So, Luce, as we wrap up the things over here, what is the one piece of advice that you would want to give to the viewers and listeners who are from Slovakia and who are planning to come to Germany or somewhere abroad in Europe?
Okay, the only thing that I can say is, for the love of God, do it. I know that you're thinking about it, and I know that it sounds scary because we're from the poor country and everything outside there seems very expensive. But literally, whatever job you get here, it's gonna get you by to begin with. Okay, you're gonna be okay. It's not gonna be something that will financially ruin you. As much as it sounds like it, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be doable. It is not as scary once you're here. But the step is very important. People will forget to do that. They will constantly plan it. They will feel like it's expensive, and they will not realize that while it might bring more expenses, it also brings more money, more opportunities, and more happiness, for the God's sake, more happiness.
That's an exceptional piece of advice, I would say. And one last thing before we get things done for this podcast, what would you say to our Slovak listeners or viewers about studying or coming abroad and getting things done around here and living on your own life and chasing your dreams, but you have to say them in Slovak language?
Dobre, pre Slovákov by som určite chcela povedať, že možno to znie strašidelne, ale treba to urobiť. Hej, je to pochopiteľné, ten prvý krok je strašidelný, ale to, čo príde hneď potom, v tej chvíli, keď už ste v tej krajine, bude úžasné. Či už je to peňažne, čo sa týka toho, čo zažijete, alebo všeobecne iba každodenný život bude zábavnejší v tej chvíli, keď sa musíte hrať s tou ideou, že títo ľudia mi nerozumejú, alebo toto som zažil prvýkrát, ale je tam niečo nové a stojí to za to.
Okay, and thank you for that valuable piece of advice. And that's the wrap about our insightful episode of the Global Citizen Diaries. A big thank you to our guest Luce for sharing their experiences and shedding light on life as an international student in Germany. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave us a comment below sharing your thoughts. Also, don't forget to drop the sushi links if you're in Essen. And your support helps us continue to bring you these engaging stories. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring the world with passports in hands and dreams in your eyes. This is Om signing off. Thank you.